Shit, try it again.
1, 2, 3. It ain't gonna work, bro.
Close enough.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Downtime with Downstar live with HondaPro Jason. Jason, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm in the safe confines of my house here in Florida.
How are things over there?
They're upside down. We'll get
Yeah.
into that in a second. I do want to start before people go crazy on this. I'm going to speak for myself and Downstar. We're not doctors. We're not biologists. We're not in the medical field whatsoever. We're car enthusiasts that want to talk about basically what's going on in the car community because of Corona worldwide and what I think people should, I don't know if I think what people should be doing, but just what I think might be happening if we don't get a control over this, and it could be pretty catastrophic. Right, Frank? I mean, you're not a doctor.
No, definitely not. But yeah, I think that we should have this conversation because shit's getting crazy really fast.
Yeah, I've had all of my everyone canceled. All my events canceled. Large, huge events, small events, everyone canceled. And if you guys know, I go to events. I probably go, I mean, Frank talk about this all the time. I probably do 50 to 60 events a year all over the world. And Frank, you're pretty close to where I am. And everything's canceled and postponed, sometimes indefinitely. So things are getting weird. I'm in Florida. I know California is pretty much on lockdown right now, right?
It's not really bad yet,
No?
but it's coming. I can feel it coming for sure.
Did you hear what your governor just said?
It's actually on the news right now, but I didn't. I'm right here, so I can't hear what he's saying. What is it?
56% of everyone in California will have coronavirus in 8 weeks.
Yeah, no, definitely. Dude,
which means if you're watching this is what he says. Now, I'm not saying this is true or not, but if you're sitting watching this right now, you look to your left or to your right. If there's someone sitting there, one of two of you are going to have it.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically what it means. Like you and or your wife are going to have it. Me and or my wife and or my kid or my mom is going to have it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And in Florida, so I'm in South Florida right now. If you guys have been watching the news at all, some of South Florida is on partial lockdown. The other part is on spring break.
Yeah.
And spring break is hard and heavy out here. Like all the restaurants, I took a drive like 2 days ago with my wife. We like drove down, didn't get out of the car, just drove down. Restaurants are packed. Bars are packed. Clubs are packed. The beach was packed. Nobody cared. Wasabi Cars, thanks for joining us. And you're isolated. Good job. I'm glad you're staying safe out there in Japan. Yeah, but it's going to get crazy, and I don't think it's going to get better before it gets way worse.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's sad, but I don't want to see the whole. I mean, my living is based off the car culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I make my living. I visit dealerships and train them, and I go to Honda events, and that's how I make a living. And if there are no car events, I can't really make a living. And if no one's going to events, they're also not modifying their cars, which means you can't make a living.
Yeah, it's affecting a lot of people right now. One big thing that I do see is people just not taking it seriously and then just repeating things that they say in memes. And, I've been following it ever since it broke in China itself. I'm me, dude. I'm always on the conspiracy side and things like that. So I've been seeing it, and I've been seeing the trend. And if people want to know where we are going to go, they should just look at what happened in China and what's happening in Italy right now. We have this arrogance to us as Americans that things aren't going to get bad here, and they're going to get bad. And that's why everybody's just going crazy and hoarding food and buying all this toilet paper for whatever stupid ass reason. One person buys toilet paper, now everybody buys, and it's just dumb. And then on all of my social networks, everything I'm on, people are just downplaying it, dude, especially people that I know personally. And I know somebody personally, like a really, really good buddy of mine, that is just waiting for results because more than likely he has it right now. And he's been in confinement by himself, and he's just been able to talk to his family via FaceTime. And that's it.
Right.
And then you have all of these idiots online who just see one one repost from some fake website, and they're just spreading, fake news, and it's sad,
Right.
dude.
Yeah,
So that's where we're at right now.
I see that. I saw Devinder's on here, or someone's on here on the MIMS Honda Day site.
Yeah.
And next MIMS is canceled.
Yeah.
If everyone watching can do me a favor, just so we can kind of get our point across, can you guys type in some of the events that you were planning on going but have been canceled right now, so other people kind of have an idea that this isn't a joke, this isn't a hoax, this isn't Democrats versus Republicans or Republicans versus Democrats, which is what me and Frank, frankly, we talked about a few days ago. We're like, well, what if it was just these? It's not. This is a real thing. And yeah, Hyundai Maryland, Hyundai Experience. You guys can see HJ, IBOC, Import Alliance, Tuner Evolution, Anaheim, IBOC MIMS, Formula D. And yeah, it's like NASCAR. It's bigger than just like a car show.
Yeah. It's
major events that have, millions and millions of dollars behind it. I don't know about F1. They're talking about the Olympics. They're talking about canceling the Olympics, which has never been done since like World War II.
Yeah. It makes sense.
It's crazy, but if I think they're allowing the American people to kind of handle it themselves is what it kind of looks like, because they're not making any broad statements except for suggestions.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are going to do it. Honestly, Disneyland, spring training.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We just released an episode today of Downtime with Downstar with Jay from Tuner Evo.
Yeah.
He was just explaining the whole situation. He flies down here with a team of, 15 plus people, and him being the owner of the series, like, of course, he's losing out on so much. Flights, hotels, Airbnbs, and that's not even including the venue itself. This is something that's very serious. So
yeah,
this could definitely lead us into like a martial law scenario.
That would not surprise me. A lot of people think that'll never happen, but I'm telling you, if we don't do anything, and if let's say your governor is right, and it is 50%, 50+% of California, that means if it moves to 50% of America, it could be martial law. It could be where there are literally tanks rolling down the city streets to make sure no one goes outside. That's like, it sounds insane, but it's happened in other countries, and there's no reason it can't happen here if it gets totally out of control.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, but it's also the mental. So many people look forward to the summertime. They look forward to car shows, and they look forward to car events where they can meet their friends and talk about cars and hang out, and that's their out. They don't use drugs or alcohol or beat their wife. You know what I mean? Like this is their, but this is their thing. Like this is what they look forward to all year long.
Yeah.
And now you're pulling that from them. This is basically their drug. And I've talked to people countless times about this over and over throughout the years, that they look forward to the car shows and car scene and car culture and watching the races and being with their friends and showing off their build and going for cruises. And if you pull that from them, that's just doesn't like, oh, well, that's not like pulling a TV show. Yeah. That's part of their lives. And this could make a dramatic effect in their mental well-being, which really scares me.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of things that are affected from this whole happening for the next few years now. It's not a joke. And I'm not even talking about the virus itself. What if it isn't as bad, but that has nothing to do with anything, people freaking out about, buying so much food and then businesses closing and things like that.
Yep.
That's going to have such a drastic effect on everything. The stock market is like the lowest that it's ever been in so long. I'm going to buy some stocks definitely though.
Oh yeah. Well, if you have money at the end, obviously people are going to be buying stocks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I don't know, man. So how has this affected you, besides not being able to go to events? How are you preparing for everything? So
I because I've been so busy, I have a lot of backlogged videos to do. So I've been keeping busy with videos. I've been keeping busy on social. We've been homeschooling my 4-year-old Maximus, which has actually been kind of fun.
Yeah.
Which we've never done before. We obviously, we went out and we bought you know, as much food as we could, and we bought like non-perishable items, a lot of, you know, tuna, a lot of stuff that we know that we could keep for a long time.
Yeah.
We still can't find toilet paper, and we're down to like 4 rolls or 5 rolls.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Really?
I mean, it'll show. I mean, if we really, really want it, we could eventually do it. But I'm just looking through some of the comments here real quick. And meanwhile, China's booming. Yeah, I'm not even getting in the political thing of China, but I will tell you this, that it seems like China's done now. And they're through it, and they have no more cases. They haven't had cases in a couple of days. And their economy is going to start to go crazy. But what do? They locked down the entire country, right? I don't think there were any flights. I don't think there was any schools. I don't think there was any businesses. I think the whole thing went locked down. They shot everyone with the thermometers. You know, that's not a gun; it's a thermometer.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
why can't all the TSA guys have the thermometers and hit the people with thermometers before they get on a plane? I mean, wouldn't that be simple?
I don't know, man. I think everybody's trying to scramble right now and figure out things. No one was prepared for this.
My son Max wants to say hi really quick. He jumped in. Come here, buddy. Oh,
Yo, what's up, big dog?
Hey.
You want to say hi to Frank? What do you think of coronavirus? He has some things to say about it before.
What do you think? Did you wash your hands today?
How long do you wash your hands?
How long?
20.
Say it
20
again.
minutes? That's a
20.
long time.
20 seconds. I uploaded a couple of videos of him doing it for 20 seconds, right? Okay.
Let me see your hands. I want to see if they're clean.
Show how clean they are. Show him. You can see him right there. See, look.
Whoa.
His nails are clean. His hands are clean.
And you got
20
the
seconds.
mohawk?
He's
I
doing
love
good.
it. Look, rock and roll, man.
Okay, let me get back to work. Say bye-bye to everyone.
Bye.
Aww. I like his cut, dude.
Can you shut the door, buddy? Please? Thank you. Yeah, no, he loves it. I went to go get my haircut, and he was with me. He's like, hey, I want my haircut. I'm like, you don't need a haircut. He goes, well, I want a mohawk.
Yeah.
I go, you know what a mohawk is? Just show me on your phone. So I'm going through photos of mohawks. I'm going through. He goes, nope. He goes, yeah. He goes, I want that one, Daddy, just like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, it doesn't grow back. He goes, I know. We go in, Buzz. He just sat there, buzzed his head. And he goes, I love it. I'm done.
There you go.
Weird, right? Yeah.
That's what's up.
He's got the hair to do it.
So, man, I don't want to ramp on this too much, dude. It's like, it's just been all day, every day, you know, wake up with anxiety and just go on Twitter and see what's trending and try to figure it out. It's like,
I don't know about you or anyone else listening, but for those of you guys that are working at home, it's really hard to get work done when there's so much noise around you. Like, it's always like every 5 or 6 minutes, there's always something extra going on. So, I mean, there's tons of stuff to do. Yeah. You know, I mean, social media is a great outlet. Video games are a great outlet. Reading, obviously. You guys can, I mean, there's a million things you do with the kids. There's different games we're playing. Cooking. Bro, yeah. I knew my wife could cook, but I didn't know she can cook like this. Yeah. She cooks three meals a day now. Obviously, we're not going out, right?
Yeah.
So she's cooking, we're cleaning, and it's cool. I mean, we're learning to do things differently, and I think that's what's going to come out of this at the end, is a lot of the country is going to do things differently than it did before. You know, we might not be commuting to working back. Like LA, your rush hour might cut down, or your traffic might cut down, because so many people are like, wait, during this coronavirus, no matter how long it is, we work from home. We didn't need to go to work. So why do we need to travel to work? Why don't we just work from home now?
Yeah.
You know, it might make a huge difference in the way we do things day to day.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, man. Just like when 9/11 happened, it just changed the way that we live life. And, you know, people who were born after that or didn't realize the effects, maybe they weren't as old when it happened. Life is completely different than it was before 9/11. And I feel like this is something that's going to change the way that we live life after this.
Totally. Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, before 9/11, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could still have walked to the gate in an airport. Yeah. Maybe not, right? Mm-hmm. You could walk all the way to the gate and meet your loved ones and give them hugs when they got off the plane, and that all got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now we don't even think about it. TSA is just something that we deal with, and we're like, oh, that's just the way it is when you go to the airport.
Yeah.
those, and it might not be negative. Like that's kind of a negative, but I think there'll be a lot of positive things that come out of this. A lot of things that'll surprise a lot of people.
Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors and we'll be back in 1 minute. Yo, what's up, fool? Make sure you check out Downstar for all of your dress-up needs. Get it poppin' over here. We have all the kits for the K series, the B series, the transmission, the mounts, the engine, the Toro, baby. We have the hardware for the seats, for the stereo. We got it for the speakers. We got it for the lug nuts. We got it for the air valves. We got it for everything, dog. So you make sure you hit us up at downstarinc.com or you call us up, fool. You can even text us, lame, 818-937-3472. Just shoot us a text and tell us what's up, dog. I need some fucking balls in this bitch. Hit us up, downstaring.com. Hey, and if you got an Instagram, slide in our fucking DM at Downstar. Wait, hit up the homie, Frank_Downstar. He's the one that takes care of all the DMs. Hit that level up and shoot him a message and he'll get you all taken care of real nicely.
Yeah, I think that getting closer with your loved ones, you know, and learning to be around them for long periods of time,
Yep.
especially over like working or something, you know, both of us are guilty of that. And maybe this is going to teach us, you know, that it's a little more important to be at home than out gallivanting.
You know what? I don't know if I want to admit this or not, and this might be a whole nother episode for you, but I really like being home with my wife and kid. I mean, I just, you know, and if anyone's watched the podcast that me and Frank did, there was a good section of that where I talked about how much I'm on the road, how much I love being on the road, how much I love being on the road more than I like being at home.
Yeah.
Now that I've been home for a couple of weeks, I really like it. Like, I will tell you, I'm not as productive for sure.
Yeah.
But the interaction and the fact that I'm, you know, watching my son grow up and helping my son learn letters and spelling and watching my wife cook, and we're spending time on the couch and talking, and it's pretty awesome. So things might be different for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that were working, you know, 12, 14-hour shifts that aren't working those now and forced to spend time with their wives or children that now really enjoy that time that they never had before.
Yeah. Do you think it was something that you never did, so you never realized the pleasure in it?
100%. I never did. I never realized the pleasure. And as we talked about, I thought I was being selfless, you know, by sharing what I had with other people instead of just spending time with my own family, you know, giving my time to other people. But I'm going to double think that now, but you know.
Yeah, we definitely need to do a follow-up podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we can do since we're going to have this downtime, you know, no pun intended.
No pun intended. Downtime with Downstars. I have a whole new meeting now.
Definitely. Good thing I got some pods in the tuck. Hopefully it lasts us a couple weeks. But guys, get ready to stay home and be at home non-voluntarily. It's getting to that point. I know that a lot of people don't want to believe it and they're just like shrugging it off, but that's your own ignorance is going to bite you in the ass for that, for sure, man. Don't worry about toilet paper. You know, you need to worry about having enough food for at least 2 weeks and a lot of things to do because we're not going to be able to travel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, things we took for granted before, just going down and grabbing a burrito or whatever it was at the store on the way home from work, just grabbing something. Those days might be gone for a little while, which is crazy. But did you hear? I don't know if you heard, Honda shut down all their plants in North America.
No way.
So that's the U.S., that's Canada, and that's Mexico. All of their factories are shut down. So they're not making any cars. They're not making any engines. They're not making any parts. They've shut down everything. But this is what they did. They shut down for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they have about 26,000 employees. Told all their employees are getting full pay for the time they're shut down.
Whoa.
So don't worry about a thing.
There
they got you, which is crazy. So Ford and all the big three, Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, they all said that we're staying open until they heard that Honda shut down. And they said, well, we're shutting down too. But I don't know if they're paying their people, which I will tell you is another reason. I've said this a million times. people hear me say, Honda's more than just a car company. They're more than a car company. Because who would do that? Like, who would lay people off like that and still give them pay? 26,000 people. I'm not talking about 5 employees. Full pay. Yeah. I talked to one of the employees the other day just to make sure I had the story right. He goes, yeah, they came in today and they said that basically put your stuff down and go home. You're done. Yeah. But we're still going to pay you while you're gone for these 2 weeks, which is awesome.
Wow.
It's pretty strong.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
Right now is the time that money is definitely going to be changing hands. A lot of people are losing money, but there's a lot of people that are definitely making money right now. So it depends on what side of the spectrum that you fall on, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
And it sucks, man. A lot of people that I really care about are going to be going through some hard times, especially people that rely on, like yourself, events and things of that sort.
Right.
Concerts, festivals,
yeah,
any large gatherings. All of that stuff is it's a wrap for at least the near future.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where, I mean, and I don't know if Jimmy's down here from Envious, but this is where groups like Envious are really going to be needed in the world.
Yeah.
When because they have such a good family following and people love them so much that these people rely on those groups to keep their sanity. And this is where these groups are really going to shine. This is where these groups are really going to be needed coming out of this, when people have nowhere to turn and they've lost their jobs, they've lost their livelihood or their money or whatever it is. They're going to turn to their friends and their car culture groups for support. And I think that's going to be super important. So Jimmy, if you're on here, man, you're going to have a lot of work ahead of you. I know you're up for it, but people are going to be turning to you for a lot soon.
Yeah, it's going to get bad, but it's going to be better. I have no doubt in it. Who knows? This could be gone by summertime and we could have the most lit summer ever, 2020 summer.
That's the other thing. Everything's be pent up. Like instead of being like, oh yeah, I got like 400 different events I can go to, you're gonna have like 4 or 5 events, and that's it, right? Yeah. So everyone's gonna swarm those events, so it's gonna be popping. It's gonna be insane.
That first event, yeah.
First event's gonna be crazy. I mean, whoever holds it, no matter when it is gonna be totally insane. So,
hey, it could work out in their benefit, where that show can be so beneficial that it'll take over the ones that they missed out on.
I don't know. We'll see. It depends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say.
Think positive of it.
Yeah.
As far as Downstar goes, we're still up and running. We're sending out packages every single day. So as soon as we get word that post office is closed, then that's it. But we're still rocking until then.
Have you seen your numbers go up, down, or too early to tell? Does it?
No, everything is pretty chill.
It's normal, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
good.
I have some creative ideas for once we're on lockdown.
You always do.
Something's going to come out. Plus, we have probably close to 100 episodes of the podcast that we haven't uploaded onto YouTube. So, yeah, I'm going to get on my grind, man. If you guys are here from Jason, make sure you check our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Downstar Inc. And make sure you follow Downtime with Downstar. If you haven't heard of us, it's a podcast. We just released episode 152 today with Jay from Tuner Evo. And it's every Monday and Thursday we have a new episode. Jason's been on it. Actually, one of the most interesting episodes that we've ever done before.
Thank you.
Can we get into that a little bit?
I mean, I don't really know if this is the time, but if you want to touch on it for a minute, and we touched on it a little bit. I really want to get into the second pod, and I think,
yeah, let's go ahead and just give a preview of the second pod. So when we had Jason on, it was after I Heart Honda Fest in SoCal. That was with Spoon Sports, and was it a collaboration with iBach Meat?
I don't think so.
It was
held at the same spot IBOC was.
Got you.
I don't know if it was a collab or not.
The Spoon Sports I Heart Honda Meet. After that, we went and did the podcast, and it was an awesome podcast. I don't want to get much into it. You guys should definitely go check it out. I
was fully caffeinated, and I left everything on the table.
I talked
a session with a psychiatrist. It really
Thank
was.
you.
Like it was, dude. It was. What happened when I left there? I called you up. When I left. And it was like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. I called you up when I left. I go, you know what? I don't want that to go on the air. Like I'm not comfortable with it. And you're like, just let it sink in I'm like, no. Like I'm done. Like there's no way I'm not gonna tell people what I actually think in my head.
Yeah.
And you're like, give it a couple days and let it sink in a little bit. And you were super cool. You're like, if you want to take anything out or cancel it, you're totally cool. Because we're friends and you would never do anything to harm me or whatever. So, but after listening to it, I really thought, since it was the truth and I thought it could actually maybe help other people, we let it roll.
Yeah.
And we got, mostly positive responses back from it.
Yeah, it was definitely eye-opening, how far down the spectrum of entrepreneur and hustler you really are, and it touched on to a lot of topics that maybe you didn't even think were anything to look over. So that's why I think it was a really positive thing. We were able to talk and you let it all out there, man. Nobody could say that you didn't. And that's all I expect. Somebody to come on, tell their truth, speak their truth. Yeah. And then when the dust settles, go from there, and we've already spoken. And from my side, looking at you, it seems like there has been some changes after that.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. There have been a lot of changes mentally after I did the pod with you, and none of them were expected. None of them were forced. I didn't go on the pod because I had problems. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I came to you with a problem, you solved it. Like, I was 100% I was good. There was nothing wrong. There was no issues. But then after letting it out and then listening to what I said, it started turning in my brain a little bit. And I started thinking, maybe this isn't really the way I want to live my life. And a few short months later, I started changing small things. And then this catastrophe happened that forced me into doing the exact opposite of what I was doing for the last 5 years. Like, I had spent maybe 30 to 40 nights next to my wife every year. Some years a little more, some years a little less, but 30, 40, 50 nights next to my wife in the year. And now I'm spending every day 24 hours with her. And the script is completely flipped. And I like it. It's absolutely amazing. And it's going to be hard. It won't be hard for me to transition back, but it's going to be interesting to see how different my life will be after this whole coronavirus thing is over. So it's going to be interesting. So we're going to pod again, right?
Yeah.
Good.
It was a great time, man. I loved how raw it was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've known you since 2011 maybe.
I think so, 10 or 11 we met. So it's been a solid 9 or 10 years, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of the reasoning that you gave and the way that you think, it wasn't really surprising to me because we've had those conversations before.
Yeah, we've spent nights together, literally.
Yeah.
And we've talked about a lot of stuff together, literally.
Let's go over some of those memories we haven't touched on. But before we get to that, guys, make sure you check out the first podcast that we did. Go to youtube.com/Downstar Inc. Just search Downstar HondaPro Jason. Watch that first podcast. This is going to be like the middle right now. And then we're going to set it up where we can do an actual Skype one where it's going to be Jason and I, and it's just going to be
that'll be cool,
like a regular podcast. But so what are some memories that come to mind that we've had together?
Oh man, I just think that we've met a lot of people together. Like, we met Adam from 621. I think we met him around the same time, and we got to hang out. And I just think that our lives, I grew up in Chicago, you grew up in Cali, and because of the car scene, we just met. And I think our thought process is different compared to us, compared to each other. But I think we really gel really well as friends. And I find it fascinating to watch your pods and hear how you think about things, because it makes me think about things differently than I normally would.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. But I kind of want to get that. I kind of want to keep this a little bit more correlated to the Corona thing, you know, and we can pod later, I think, and we can talk more about that.
You know me, I'm always trying to pod, bro.
I know. I know. You were after me for a long time, and I kind of feel bad that it took forever.
It's just logistics. I know if we had the chance to do it, we would have done it at that time.
Yeah.
But, I think that everybody is going to be fine. I think that we just need to come together like the community that we call ourselves and help people out.
I agree, and not be so selfish. It killed, honestly, it really killed me today to see everyone on spring break in Florida partying. I mean, they're college kids. They're late, either just out of high school or early or middle into college, and I don't blame them because they just want to party. They've been cooped up in school. They're out. They want to party, and people didn't really tell them not to. They just kind of suggested that, you know what, keep yourself safe, wash your hands, don't get in big groups, and just kind of be safe. They didn't really say don't you down. And because they didn't say the beach is locked down, well, I'm going to go to the beach. Until you lock it down and make it illegal, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, which isn't totally their fault. You know, I think there's other people to blame here, but it's easy just to sit back and blame everyone right now. I just would like to look forward and see what we can do to stop this and get back to normal life and not have not talk like this in August and be like, dude, it's August and it's gotten worse now. And now we can't stop it. Like, that's not what I want to be. I don't want to be there. I can't hear you anymore.
Yo. I don't know what happened to Jason's Wi-Fi, guys. Bro, what up? Mo, what up? All right, guys. Not sure what happened to Jason, but just know that we are going to have a second podcast with Jason. Going to tap in with him and see what changes he made since the last podcast. Things are going to get crazy, guys, but hopefully you're prepared. And be safe out there.